Let's get it, crypto fam. What it do? What's new? What's good? Holla at your boy. In today's show, Bitcoin price shows a textbook Wyckoff move as the Bitcoin bulls defend $25,000. In breaking news, pro-Bitcoin U.S. congressman says sound money is essential to defending freedom. Preach. Also in today's show, we'll be discussing Bitcoin's clean energy usage reportedly exceeds 50%. However, why hasn't Tesla started accepting Bitcoin payments as Elon Musk promised? Also in today's show, Bitcoin primed to surge by over 70% in a 2015 style price jump, says top crypto analyst Mikhail Van-de-Pop. I'll be sharing his timeline. We'll also be discussing the one and only Michael Saylor predicting a $5 million Bitcoin price and what's the likelihood of this coming true. Also, what has recently broken the internet, Tucker Carlson gives Bitcoin a massive victory with his recent interview with Javier Milei. In fact, that interview now has over 330 million views. Quoting Max Keiser, Tucker and Javier heading to 500 million views in 24 hours. The appetite and the Spanish-speaking world for truthful economics reporting is unbelievably huge. And Max also points out he's scheduling a trip to Argentina to meet with Javier Milei. So make money private again. Let's go. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, fam, plus so much more in today's show. And welcome everyone just joining us. A quick reminder to smash that like button as it helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. And also, if you like receiving daily premium crypto news alerts every single day like this, 7 days a week, be sure to smash that subscribe button and hit the bell icon to turn on all notifications. Also, a quick reminder, there's a brand new channel I recently created like a week ago. We already got like 200 subs, which is amazing. I appreciate everyone's support. And it's Crypto News Alerts Clips, where I'm sharing daily clips taken from this live stream in the form of short clips as well as shorts, as you can see here in your screen. And once again, appreciate all the support. Welcome everyone just tuning in. This is pod episode number 1402. I'm your fearless leader, JV, and today is September 15, 2023. Lots to cover. Obviously, I'm very looking forward to sharing with you the highlights from that Tucker Carlson interview with the pro-Bitcoin candidate who is running for president, Javier Milei. I mean, considering they've already received over 300 million views in a matter of 18 hours, goes to show you the popularity of this man, but even more important, the message behind it. You know what I mean? But anyways, let's kick off today's show with our market watch as we do here each and every day. You can see Bitcoin back in the red, but we maintain 25,000 as a strong support, and we're currently above $26,300 as the other day we just had a pretty decent pump. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, we're still sitting above that $1 trillion milestone, but we have been stagnant here for quite some time. It's pretty alarming. We also are sitting at a 24.5 billion market cap, and the Bitcoin dominance has been on the rise, currently at 48.9%, with the Ether dominance, which has been pretty stagnant as well, at 18.6%. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers in the past 24 hours, we got Arweave leading the pack, up 8%, trading at $4.40, followed by XDC up 5%, trading at 5.5 cents, followed by Maker up 4%, trading above $1,214. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers of the past week, we have Hex clearly leading the pack, up 11.4%. And so there you have it. Which altcoins, if any, are you currently bullish on, and how many of you have been taking advantage of this recent dip? Let me know in the comments, and make sure to say hello in the live chat. Shout out to Tom, Andy Surfer, Bitcoin Maximus, Digital Dankness, DCA Bitcoin No Alts, and the entire Bitcoin fam. I appreciate each and every one of you. Now let's dive into today's Bitcoin TA, shall we? Check it out. Bitcoin consolidated higher on September 15th as analysis described the recent Bitcoin price behavior as textbook, as you can see here in the Bitcoin 1 hour candle chart. Data from Cointelegraph and TradingView showed the largest crypto focusing on 26.6 below a key breakout level. Bitcoin had shrugged off the latest U.S. macroeconomic data reports the day prior, joining traditional markets and heading higher despite hints that inflation was more stubborn than expected. And amid a renewed bullish mood, we had analyst Mikhail Van-de-Pop who shared the following: Bitcoin might be able to activate a potential bullish breakout, although we need to make sure that it doesn't retest the lows again, referencing news that Germany's largest lender, Deutsche Bank, Bank had applied for a crypto custody license, and Van de Popp eyed 25,000 as a level for the bulls to steer the market away from. Quoting him again, "We have seen a sweep at 25,000 and should be holding up on the higher numbers. And in that case, we should be holding 25.6 to 25.9, as beneath there, we'll see a ton of stops to be activated before we can actually see some movements. And despite remaining below a cluster of key moving averages, the 200-week exponential moving average continues to act as support reclaimed in March and an important feature at the start of any bull market. Now, I think that the odds of the low to be in on this cycle has increased," says Van de Popp. Why? We're looking holding above the 200-week exponential moving average and likely will be closing above that for this one. He also says that September is not rectember and seems to be what we'll be having continuation from here. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the analyst. He also highlights that 26.8, the previous day's high, as the line in the sand for us to break through. So keep your eyes out on that level, fam. And taking an optimistic long-range view, we had trading resource Stock Money Lizards. What a username. Only in crypto. Likewise concluded the further Bitcoin price upside should come next. The analysis compared the past year's price action to an extended accumulation phase using that Wyckoff method. This describes the price cycles of an asset and correctly identifies the trigger after a swing low known as a spring in the Wyckoff, which can reveal the beginning of a new uptrend or a return to the previous higher trading range. So for Stock Money Lizards, the spring occurred after Bitcoin bottomed out in late 2022. Quoting him here, "We have seen the spring in January, breakout end of March, and now the second throwback, textbook Wyckoff behavior." That's right, which you can see here, and that's pretty clear. I also believe that the low is in at 15,700, which we hit in the fourth quarter of last year. But let me know your thoughts, fam. And this just in, breaking news, pro-Bitcoin U.S. Congressman Mr. Davidson says that sound money is essential for defending freedom. I agree 100%. Let's freaking go. Also, shout out to Congressman Tom Emmer, as I covered in yesterday's episode, as he is doing his anti-CBD push over in Congress. So he has my support, as I am totally against CBDCs, and I am pro-Bitcoin, which is the antidote to those central bank digital currencies. Now let's discuss, remember that promise from Elon Musk a few years ago, where he said, if you can prove that the Bitcoin mining has more than 50% clean energy, and yes, I am paraphrasing, FYI, that he will start accepting Bitcoin again for payments for Tesla. And he never stood by his word, and now it is official that more than 50% of Bitcoin mining is using clean energy. So let's break this down, shall we? Elon said in 2021 that Tesla would accept Bitcoin payments once the miners were using roughly 50% clean energy sources, with positive future trend, a benchmark that had been recently met. In a September 14 thread, Bloomberg analyst Jamie Coutts reported the percentage of the Bitcoin mining energy coming from renewable sources, which exceeded 50%, with falling emissions plus a drastically rising hash rate. And according to Coutts, the push towards renewable energy sources was the result of miners dispersing from China in the wake of the country's mining ban, which started back in 2021, and as well as a certain amount of nations turning to mining to monetize the stranded and excess energy. As he reveals here, sustainable energy resources rise greater than 50%, falling emissions plus a dramatically hiding hash rate can only mean one thing, that is Bitcoin mining is consuming more sustainable energy in its mix. So take that, fudsters. Now, countries investing in Bitcoin mining include obviously El Salvador, the first country to make Bitcoin a legal tender back in 2021. Also, Bhutan, Oman, and the United Arab Emirates. The 50% energy benchmark could mean a greater move towards adoption by one of the biggest companies in the world. So there you have it. Now, Musk, the CEO of Tesla, owner of X as well as SpaceX, announced Tesla would stop accepting Bitcoin payments back in May of 2021, citing the rapidly increasing use of fossil fuels for Bitcoin mining and transactions. Now, I know it was nothing more than a FUD attack because he receives his wealth from government subsidies. So naturally, he has to push that FUD narrative. I truly believe that. But what's your thoughts, chat? Now, since establishing a sustainable energy source threshold of 50% for when the firm would resume payments, Musk acknowledged that there was a positive trend towards green energy sources that hasn't changed Tesla's policy. The Tesla CEO did not appear to have publicly announced any move to resume the Bitcoin payments. So can he be an enemy against Bitcoin? Well, I know he holds Bitcoin on his balance sheet, but it's very interesting. I just can't seem to figure this guy out. But, you know, as they say, trust nobody, verify everything. That's the motto here with Bitcoin. But let me know your thoughts, chat. Do you trust Elon? Do you think he'll accept Bitcoin payments for Tesla? Or do you think he's just going to continue pushing that FUD narrative that Bitcoin is like bad for the environment and all that nonsense. Let me know your honest thoughts. And now let's discuss a potential 70% pump for the King Crypto, according to top crypto analyst Mikhail Van de Poppe. Thanks for everyone just joining us and tuning in. Make sure to let me know where you're tuning in from at the end of the show. I'll be shouting everybody out and reading your comments out loud. So let's go. Crypto analyst Mikhail Van de Poppe says the Bitcoin can shoot up to over 70% in a similar move to 2015. Van de Poppe tells his subs the Bitcoin may be repeating a pattern in 2015 when Bitcoin remained in a sustained trading range before a big upside move ahead of the 2016 halving event. Now, the next halving event, which happens every 4 years, is expected in April of 2024 when minor rewards are cut in half, which is approximately only 6 months out. How many of you are pumped for the halving? Let me know, chat. Now, here's what he says. You can see that we are building a beautiful range, which means this is very much comparable to the price action we witnessed in 2015. Let's go there. Here in 2015, we have been establishing a range in sideways action for a long time and couldn't break through it until the pre-halving run took place. That's facts. The trader says he is keeping a close eye on the 200-week exponential moving average, which he says is now acting as support. He suggests Bitcoin's market correction is over and Bitcoin will now retest the range highs, which could send it more than 70% higher than its current value. Quoting him again, I wouldn't be surprised with a Bitcoin pre-halving to be as high as 45,000 per coin. That is most likely the case here. The chances that we're going to retest the 200-week EMA are relatively slim. So if we hold above a few crucial levels, I think we're going to continue with the upwards momentum. So there you have it. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the crypto analyst. And according to him, one likely scenario that can play out for Bitcoin is a rally to about 32,000 next month, or a retest of 28.7, followed by a breakout to higher levels. Also like to throw out there, I believe that the annual high thus far was on the cusp of $32,000. So my question for all of you, when do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to hit a new annual high? Do you think that will occur sometime here in the fourth quarter or not till next year? Let me know your honest thoughts, chat. And now let's break down our next story of the day, the latest from the one and only Giga Chad, Michael Saylor, the founder of MicroStrategy, the largest corporate holder of Bitcoin. They currently hold like over 150,000 BTC on their balance sheet. Now, this is the man right here, the myth, the legend, who needs really no introduction. Now, Saylor's projection is roughly 50 times higher than most optimistic experts forecast to date, but such a massive valuation for a digital asset, is it even possible? Let's discuss it. For this to happen, 3 conditions need to be fulfilled. The launch of a spot Bitcoin ETF, banks offering financial services using BTC, as well as the official regulation of cryptocurrencies in the United States. Now, fortunately, 2 of these 3 conditions are almost met. Many speculations say that the first spot Bitcoin ETF will be launched this fall, and of course, Michael Saylor shared his 3 catalysts here, so we're not making this up. This is coming directly from him. He actually shared this on an X post. He said, the 3 catalysts that will take Bitcoin to 5 million. Number 1, spot ETF approval, which is inevitable. Banks custody and lend against Bitcoin as collateral, which is coming soon, as well as the fair value accounting rules from the FASB, which has already been approved this week and is supposed to go into effect later this year. Now, it was also reported earlier, as I just mentioned, a Financial Accounting Standards Board is working on a new accounting standard for companies holding cryptocurrencies. Companies will have to report their profits and losses immediately rather than just once a year, increasing transparency for both the investors as well as the public. Now, what about the third condition? Let's break it down. Banks seem to be interested in Bitcoin, obviously, especially if they feel threatened by more efficient financial systems such as XRP. Some banks, such as Deutsche Bank, have already started offering cryptocurrency services, as I covered in great detail in yesterday's episode. If you missed it, you know what to do. Check it out after today's show. Now, other competitors are also gearing up to do the same. As mentioned in South Korea's Hana Bank, KEB Hana Bank, one of South Korea's largest financial institutions, announced a partnership with cryptocurrency custody company BitGo Trust Company to provide digital asset custody services starting in the second half of 2024. So there you have it, another massively bullish catalyst for next year, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, right? This is, for example, the the case with the Korean bank, which in cooperation with BitGo is launching an asset storage service. However, as Saylor points out, this condition will only be fulfilled if the banks start lending money against Bitcoin as collateral, which would be a reason to never depart with your precious BTC. Just saying. Currently, this rule only applies in cryptocurrencies and companies, but if this continues, banks may soon feel this is the way to move forward. So what are your thoughts, fam? Do you think Michael Saylor's prediction of a $5 million Bitcoin price is likely to come into fruition? And by what year? I feel it's inevitable. We all know the two biggest catalysts for next year. Bitcoin ETF approval is inevitable. I believe the next deadline for the SEC is October, the following month, which it'll probably be pushed back until next year, which is going to be around the time right before the halving, which can set the storm. I mean, fireworks, explosion, all that great stuff, parabolic rise, new all-time highs, send it, and let's freaking go. And that second biggest catalyst, halving. So we have ETF approval, and there's literally about a dozen massive asset managers, not just BlackRock, that's the world's largest 10 trillions with assets under management. There's Fidelity, 4.5 trillion. It goes on and on and on. With the Bitcoin halving all in the same year, come on, fam. Tell me you're not bullish. Shut your mouth. Just saying. Anyways, now let's break down our next story of the day and discuss the latest with a big Bitcoin victory thanks to Tucker Carlson and Javier Milei. Let's break this down, shall we? So here we go. Javier Milei is considered to be the front runner to be the Argentina's next president. The Bitcoin-friendly presidential candidate recently attracted the crypto community's interest, owing to the rise of the Bitcoin price following his win in the recent primary election, as we've been covering here in the show. The candidate is known for his strong views against the control of central banks and economies. Ahead of the broadcast, Carlson described the candidate as probably the next president of Argentina, quoting him here. Javier Milei in Buenos Aires, enemy of the Washington Post, and probably the next president of Argentina. Let me know your thoughts. I personally think absolutely, considering the interview, and I'm going to be sharing the highlights from this recent interview with Tucker, just based on that, the fact I get over 300 million views in like 18 hours goes to show you how much the people demand and want this guy to continue to speak and represent them. Argentina is a big country. What if, hypothetically, he was elected president, which there is a very strong chance of happening, and he adopts Bitcoin as the legal tender? Then game on. And we already have Max Keiser, who tweeted, or on X, he posted right before I went live, he's going to be visiting Milei in Argentina. And we already know Max is responsible for orange pilling some of the biggest in the space, from Michael Saylor all the way to Ricardo Salinas, the third richest man in Mexico, you know, the billionaire. So shout out to Max Keiser. Love what you're doing, fam, and I appreciate all the support. I know you reposted today's show on X, so can't say much more great things about you, because what you're doing is fantastic, and I greatly appreciate it, of course, fam. But anyways, this could be a particularly big boost for Bitcoin hodlers, as Milei's election as the next Argentine president can likely bring in yet another head of the country in support of digital assets after Nayib Bukele, the current president of El Salvador. Bukele had created history by becoming the first leader in the world to adopt Bitcoin as the legal tender. In response to the statement, a Bitcoin supporter stated that Carlson should ask the presidential candidate if he'll consider making Bitcoin a legal tender in Argentina. I mean, wouldn't you want to know that question, the answer to that question as well? Meanwhile, details on the exact date and time have already taken place. So that was just a little preview. Now, here is the post right here. Episode 24. Argentina's next president could be Javier Milei. Who is he? We had traveled to Buenos Aires to speak with him and find out. And as you can see here, 336 million views. I'm going to refresh it. I bet you it's higher from 10 minutes ago when I pulled this up. Let's see. 339.6 million views. Let's freaking go. And as Max Keiser shares right here, Tucker plus Javier heading to 500 million views in 24 hours. Heck, let's send it to 1 billion. Shouldn't we? Let's do it. Everyone repost this interview. The appetite in the Spanish-speaking world for truthful economics reporting is unbelievably huge. And I could say that 100% as well as I agree. And as Max points out here, I am scheduling a trip to Argentina to meet with Javier Milei. Bitcoin and Hayek are at the top of the agenda, and then he quotes Milei, make money private again. Right now, for the highlights from the actual interview, which just took place, was just released roughly 18 hours ago on X exclusively. As you know, Tucker is infamous from being on Fox. He left Fox or got fired. I don't know all the details behind the scenes, but he left. And now his episodes on X are getting hundreds of millions of views per show. So I bet you Fox is really disappointed and whatever happened with him leaving, because, I mean, he was probably getting less than 10 million views per episode on the major network. But now that he is on X, it's going viral, everything this man does. So it's incredible. So much respect to Tucker Carlson as well. Anyways, here are the highlights from the actual interview. I'm going to share as much as I could in the limited time that I have, and then we'll do a little bit of live Q&A before I got to pick up my daughter from school. So anyways, we're in downtown Buenos Aires, the capital of Argentina, and he gives a beautiful intro, and he talks about how hyperinflation is destroying the economy, which is so sad to see. Quoting him here, "You see it when you have dinner here at restaurants and people pull out bricks of local currency, the peso, to pay. It feels like Weimar Germany or Zimbabwe, but it's not. It's a developed country that's moving backwards at high speed. And because of the frustration that's built up across the population, particularly amongst the poor people, a man called Javier Milei is poised to become its next president. Let's freaking go. I say, let's get this guy in office sooner than later." But who is the guy? A former soccer star goalie, a performer in the Rolling Stones cover band, and a libertarian economist, but not libertarian like an American libertarian. And let me get to some of the questions specifically Tucker asked Milei. So his first question, Carlson asked Milei to explain his popularity, and he shared, "Argentina is a country that has embraced socialist ideas for the last 100 years. So classic liberalism is a natural form of rebellion against the system, and rebellion is always led by the youth. When they look at me, they see someone talking about liberalism and rebelling against the status quo. The opposite of what you think when you look at President Biden, right, fam? Let me know, chat." Carlson responded by asking how anyone can support Argentina's socialist status quo, given how it's wrecked the country's economy and made everyone poor. In response, Milei explained how leftists used the guise of social justice to fool the people. Quoting him here, "Argentina's embrace of socialist ideas began with the idea that seems attractive but is actually a terrifying way to operate an economic system. The idea where there is a need, there is a right. It's a problem because there can be infinite needs." Yeah, exactly. "But someone always has to pay for those rights, and the resources for that are finite. That sparks a conflict between infinite needs and infinite resources. So in the liberalist views, the conflict is easy to resolve through economic freedom and private property. This is a natural mechanism to resolve this tension in a society. But the socialists don't much like the invisible hand. They prefer the claws of the state," right? Now, they hide it behind the discourse of social justice. This sort of social justice is deeply unpopular because it is premeditated by unequal treatment under the law and preceded by a robbery. Preach. I mean, this man is speaking my language. Now, during the course of the interview, Carlson asked Milei what advice he'd give to GOP presidential candidate Donald Trump. Interesting response here. "I would tell him to continue his fight against socialism because he is one of the few who truly understand what the fight against socialists and status mean. He perfectly understood that wealth creation resides in the private sector." Facts. He also says, "The state doesn't create wealth, it destroys it." Preach. "The state cannot give anything because it doesn't produce anything. And when it wants to do it, it does it horribly. From my humble position, the only thing I would say is he should double his efforts in the direction of defending the ideas of freedom without giving an inch to the socialists." So there you have it, fam. I mean, those are just some of the highlights. Obviously, I would encourage you to check out the interview directly from Tucker Carlson. I haven't even watched the entire thing yet. I watched half of it. I was pretty excited. I'm looking forward to watching the second half. And yeah, I'm absolutely looking forward to Max Keiser as well, the high priest of Bitcoin, sharing his 2 Satoshis. I mean, especially getting a private interview with Javier Milei, because we know it'll be Bitcoin focused, whereas the interview with Tucker wasn't focused on Bitcoin whatsoever. So you got to keep that in mind. So I'll be looking forward to that interview with Max. And as soon as it's released, I'll be sharing all the juicy details with each and every one of you. And I'm sure I'll even personally transcribe it myself so you can get those insights firsthand. And with that being shared, fam, welcome to each and every one today in the live chat. It's TGIF. Thank God it's Friday, right? Shout out to Maximus. Shout out to Yo-Yo. What's up? Good lawyer. Oh, snap. I may need a good lawyer. What a username. Much love. What up, Matthew J, CeeLo, JJY, Rudy LaPlane. What up? Mike Kazum, good to see ya. BCA, Bitcoin, no alts in the building. Chris Minka, Crypto for Cardano. What's poppin'? What's new? What's good? What are y'all looking forward to doing this weekend? Andy Surfer, Tom from the Netherlands. We got a jam-packed house. I love to see it. Shout out to Hodl Mike. Appreciate you tuning in each and every day and always being the first to comment on the show. You guys are amazing. Shout out to Cryptic Sniper. Good day, crypto news and fam. I hope all is good. Have a lovely weekend. That goes to you as well. He also said, don't forget to smash the like button. I appreciate the reminder. Only if you gain value out of today's episode, please smash that like button. Don't be shy, as it helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. I can't stress that enough. And of course, comments help as well. So I love and appreciate all the interaction chat. And of course, also, there's a new Clips channel. As I mentioned earlier, we're approaching 200 subs. We just launched it last week. It's clips.cryptonewsalerts.net. And this is where we're taking shorts and clips specifically from this daily live stream, which is shared on this channel, and putting it over there. And if you're not already following us on Rumble as a backup, I highly encourage you to do that as well, because who knows how long I will preside on this platform. It's unpredictable because we've already seen from the past, anything can happen. I can wake up and it could be gone overnight. So make sure you're plugged in regardless. Between X, you can find me. You can find me on YouTube, obviously, with the main channel here, as well as Clips. You can find me on Rumble. You can find me on Spotify. You can find me on iTunes and anywhere your favorite podcasts are being played. And again, I appreciate that support. One more house cleaning item here. There is also a Discord I highly encourage you to plug into if you want to connect with like-minded Bitcoiners. It's discord.cryptonewsalerts.net. And also, this is a great place for us to interact with one another. In fact, there's channels which are open to the public. Anyone's welcome to join. For example, where you can ask a question if you want me to address something specifically on the show, which I'm going to be addressing a question from Digital Dankness and from our community here in a moment. There's also a Fiesta 100K channel exclusive for those of you who want to attend our Puerto Rico $100,000 Bitcoin Fiesta party when the Bitcoin price crosses that six-figure milestone. I'm looking forward to meeting you here face to face. And there's a lot of other cool things such as charts, and we can do a lot of cool stuff together collectively in the community. So let me open up, ask a question here in the Discord, and let's see. Can you imagine a world where all kids learn about Bitcoin in school? Ask Dankness. What kind of things would you want them to learn about? Well, first and foremost, most of the things they're currently learning about in their curriculum, I would encourage them to not learn about, because it's a lot of things adults shouldn't even be learning. It's very sad. I'm not going to get into specifics, but I'm sure you guys can read between the lines. Also, we have to consider who funds the public education system. I believe it was the Rockefellers who started that in the early 1900s. And so history means his story. Whoever is telling the story has control of what happened in the past. And guess what? Just because it's in a textbook doesn't make it fact, doesn't make it reality. I recall going to school and learning in a textbook that we evolved from monkeys. Now, anyone with common sense can go to the zoo and look at a monkey, or better yet, screw the zoo, because they're entrapping creatures or animals to make money off of them, and they're caged. And I kind of feel bad for animals in the zoo. So another example, let's go to Costa Rica. There's monkeys everywhere. Howler monkeys, capuchin monkeys, you name it. I love monkeys, if you didn't know. I've also lived in Costa Rica, so I know firsthand from feeding the monkeys. But anyways, fam, I know for a fact by looking at a monkey that I did not frickin' come from a monkey from billions of years of evolution. I know that's a bunch of BS. I believe there is a creator, a divine creator. You can call it God. You can call it Yahweh, you can call it Ayatollah, you can call it Jehovah, you can say the name of God, whatever, that name may be. I don't want to get obviously religious or anything like that here, but my point is, the things that they teach us in school, most of that crap is not true. It's designed to brainwash us. Why don't they teach things that are important, such as you mentioned, Bitcoin, curriculum, and education? First and foremost, when it comes to the success of the future generation, wouldn't you want them to know basics in entrepreneurship. Why isn't entrepreneurship taught at like school, in the school system? I didn't learn anything about being an entrepreneur or running a business. The alternative, they want you to go get a degree, useless degrees, so you can be in debt by the time you graduate college, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. Good luck getting a job and being a slave, working towards paying off the debt that you accrued for the rest of your life. I choose the alternative route. I'm all about unplugging from the matrix. You know, I don't want to be in the box or the status quo like everybody else. So the things to me that are most important to learn, yeah, the basics. We need the basic math and the basics of reading and writing and all of those things. I'm not arguing against that. But I don't know if I've ever used trigonometry or, advanced algebra my entire adult life. I much rather just learn how money works. Why don't they teach us specifically how money works and how money was created and the history of money? They purposely don't want you to know that. So here's another thing. I'd make it mandatory, a study on the Bitcoin standard. That would be our Bitcoin Bible, our guide produced by Saifedean and Amos. And we would discuss that. All forms of money, how money is printed out of thin air, and over time, over hundreds or thousands of years, how we've gone from stones to Bitcoin, digital money. I'd also teach them about the dangers of CBDCs, central bank digital currencies. I would just preach the truth and want to orange pill, the culture in our society so we can change the world and make it a better place. So that's a fantastic question, but what are your thoughts, chat? Let me know in the comments below and I'll read those out loud. Shout out to Barry, tuning in from Holland. Appreciate your support. Yeah, it is pod number 1402. Can you believe it? Crazy how fast time flies. Andy Surfer, what it do? DCA sliding in from Clearwater, Florida. Great to be a part of the show. Thank you so much. You're very welcome. Stay blessed. Welcome, Crypto News Alerts La Familia, says ESP Academy. Appreciate that. The low is in November 22, 15,000. Also, the retest is in 24.8. I won't get a bid fill below that level, says Chris Minka. CBDC thing is overblown, says Mike. I'm all Bitcoin, but the U.S. government can do whatever they want now with your money. CBDCs would actually make life easier for the ruling class to enslave you 100%. I don't think it's going to make the average Joe's life any easier. I think it's going to make you miserable because you're going to be enslaved unless you have Bitcoin, which is the antidote. Audit the SEC. Great idea, Crypto for Cardano. I say it once a day to keep Gary Guzzlenuts away. Love it. That may be comment of the day. Rudy says this weekend has started with JV. Smash that like. I appreciate that. Elon's daddy Finks says it is okay now and Bitcoin is now ESG good. I can see Elon changing his mind now. Good point. Now that the CEO of BlackRock changed his mind, Larry Fink, right? Now that they're coming on board and they submitted an app for a spot Bitcoin ETF. Elon is unpredictable and can be a loose cannon. He can wake up and flip like lost fish on the shore. Like a fish out of water, right? 5 mil by 2035, says Mike. Send it. And then they will have to print money. The third catalyst. You already know, fam. 100%. Heck yeah, that printer about to roll. Let's go. All good. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Yo, thanks JV for the daily crypto news and for spreading the holy scriptures of Satoshi. Preach. Best crypto YouTuber out there. Well, I need your guys' support. Everyone says this is the best show. You guys are die hard. But right now there's only north of 100 people live watching on YouTube. We need to get this to 10,000 people watching live daily. What can you do to help? Simple as smashing the like button. Not smashing the like is not going to help whatsoever. So if you want to help contribute to orange pilling the rest of the world and helping ushering in a Bitcoin adoption, just smash the like. It's as simple as that, and I appreciate it. Melda the Witch. Woo, just made it. Appreciate you tuning in. Melda, I dropped Bitcoin in a combo with an old friend. They seemed unsure and dismissive. We are still so early. You make a great point, Matthew. One love. Abel Gonzalez says, drinks. Cheers, fam. Long live JV. Long live the ESP Academy. Appreciate you. Thank you for bringing up the best news every day, JV. Thank you, Matthew. Good evening. Taiwo, appreciate you tuning in. Ride the massive rising wave with Michael Saylor. You already know. Good stuff. CBDCs are definitely not a good thing. They belong to the devil. They can be programmed to decide what you can purchase and what you can't. Facts. Thank you, JV. Great value, dynamic news. Wishing you and your daughter a fantastic afternoon and the weekend. Stay safe. You already know. I understand Cayman Islands offer not only scholarships, but teach primary school children blockchain. That's what's up. They should be learning about the future, not about the past, and keeping them stuck in the past. Getting more degrees so you can hopefully find a job, which will probably not even be a job available. It'll be replaced by AI by the time you get your degrees. So yeah, the kids need to be learning about blockchain. The kids need to be learning about Bitcoin. I mean, if you're not learning about money, you're wasting your time in school. I mean, for Christ's sake, they want you ignorant and enslaved and easy to control. That's how I truly feel. Why isn't where God came from a course in school? That's a great question. I think you know the answer to that. I think we all do. Slaves to the system. Preach. Preach at JV. Agree with you there. Teach how to invest in school. Amen. There was a time not too long ago it was rude to discuss money or how much your own parents earn. That's right. All by design, right? Culture was shaped that way. Math is a universal language. I think it is important to be taught. But yeah, money should definitely be taught. I'm going to make my kids read the Bitcoin Standard at 12 years old. Another thing that should be taught is health. I mean, it's a disgrace. You see what they serve at the lunch lines of the school? Do you see how lazy people are at PE and so little they have to do? They don't even have to run around the track no more. They can just walk. When I went to school, you were required to participate and run. You kidding me? I'd get an F and fail PE if I didn't actually try and put in the effort. Times have changed. I don't think for the better. I think technology, counter-programming, networking should be taught, math, science, engineering, problem-solving. I think natural health is so important. Kids are so misled. They're prescribed medicine for not paying attention when they just have a different way of learning. It's chaos. You know what I mean? Organized chaos, the best way I can describe the school system. I think how to grow food, 100%. There we go. Farming, they teach that. My daughter, when she attended, I don't remember if it was second grade or third grade, but she learned that here in Puerto Rico, farming. They actually taught that. They actually had a farmer, and they went to the land, and they would learn how to plant things and such. I think that is invaluable. JV, if you can get Max or Tucker or Saylor, it might get your watchers up. Yeah, I think so. I mean, if I was able to do an interview, for example, with Tucker, who's getting 300-400 million views in a single video interview, good Lord, game over. We'll get to 1 million subs overnight, guaranteed. You know what I mean? Anyways, fam, I got to pick up my daughter shortly, so let's recap with what I covered with you here in today's show. I broke down the latest technical analysis as the Bitcoin price action shows the textbook Wyckoff move as the Bitcoin bulls defend $25,000. We also discussed pro-Bitcoin U.S. congressman says sound money is essential to defending freedom. Facts. We also discussed the latest with the Bitcoin clean energy usage reportedly exceeding 50%. However, Tesla still not accepting Bitcoin payments. What's good, Elon? You might have to tag Elon on X and say, what's good? Why aren't we accepting Bitcoin payments? Maybe if we collectively do that, he'll change it. Bitcoin primed to surge over 70% in a 2015 style price jump, according to top analyst Mikhail Van de Popp. I shared with you his timeline. We also discussed the one and only Michael Saylor with his $5 million Bitcoin price prediction, as well as Tucker Carlson's recent massive victory for Bitcoin after interviewing Javier Milei over in Argentina, as he is more than likely going to become the next Bitcoin president and hopefully make Bitcoin a legal tender in Argentina. Let's freaking go. But where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next? Let me know in the comments right down below, and I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow. It's going to be at a unique time, FYI, 5 p.m. tomorrow. So 5 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, we will be live. I look forward to seeing you on Stacking Saturday. Don't forget to smash that like